standing the two most powerful junglers.
And
Nah
Nah finds his way through.
Alright, so Flame
Something's
plays a
going to have
good
to fall
Nidalee.
through the cracks.
Flame plays a good Nidalee that is seen as a quasi-counter play against Nah. Does completely fine in lane, can poke him out as well. And of course Nidalee against heavy engage is very good because of that poke damage. Looks like Thresh may be an option here as well. And wow, they'll be going back to their Rengar, so that's a very confident first pick.
Yeah, TBQ looking to pick up that Rengar. Does this Thresh pick mean that Sivir could possibly be picked away from Imp, and that could be definitely a little bit of a dent in their playstyle decisions?
Well, it definitely means it could be picked away because they only have 2 picks right now.
Yeah, well,
it looks like they're using it on support and jungle.
Is it likely that Sivir's going to be picked away from Imp?
Yeah, I think that Sivir is definitely a priority pick right now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it get picked up, along with maybe an Nami, who we've seen a lot more popularity today. I like Thresh when you pair it with a Rengar because it means to gank bottom lane, all you have to do is stand in a brush and Lantern Rengar in, and he gets a free gap closer. So it's a very
I forgot how that interaction works. That's ridiculous.
Do it like that. So yeah, nicely picked up here. And we mentioned that LeBlanc might be picked away, and it is being picked away, so Wayless won't be paying that.
Yeah, so both Imp and Wayless going to have to choose different champions this time around. Of course, their champion pools are going to be big enough to deal with that one, but we'll see what Imp decides to go with when he doesn't have this other on the hunt. Now they're sort of exchanging different on the hunts here. Flame looking at a possible Aurelia pickup, seeing how his Aurelia works as opposed to Acorn's. And Imp, oh my, don't tempt me. Oh goodness.
Yeah, so Flame may be electing to go for this Aurelia matchup as well. Once you pick up your boots too, preferably Ninja Tabi in this matchup, Aurelia does fare quite decently against Nah, so wouldn't be surprised to see that one go through, as it does. And wow, Caitlyn swapped out at the last moment.
Yeah, so the Caitlyn Thresh lane evolved, of course, those Piltovers able to push out the wave, also a lot of poke, and you have so much range against the very low range Sivir here, and you can rival the wave clear as well, so I like that pickup coming out of him. But just maybe the mid-game lull might be something that's going to put them in an interesting position on the side of LGD.
Yeah, as soon as they both get BFs, it goes pretty decently in Sivir's way if she engages heavily. So with the Braum, I like that.
Oh my goodness, Captain 57's going to lock in the Kazakhs. And when was the last time you saw Kazakhs being played in the jungle? I mean, it's been a long time, and with all of these jungle champions, these jungle options out of the way, and I wouldn't actually fault that idea either.
Yeah, so it looks like it will be the Kha'Zix. So Max Q Kha'Zix has come back in. You evolve that one as well.
Yep.
So a little bit different from what we were seeing last season, where you were going with that W evolution. Yeah, so I like Braun Sivir as a lane. I think that Imp will be completely fine in it, though, to be honest. I don't see him getting engaged on. Him and PYL just played that lane so textbook last time around. Using that Thresh to disengage. And wow, Wayless going with a Kha'Zix mid lane against the LeBlanc. So gets picked on a little bit early. LeBlanc has
Kassadin mid lane. Yeah, sorry.
Kassadin.
I got very excited there because I actually love Kazakh's mid, and I thought that maybe Luo might do something fancy, but that's impossible for this particular comp. But looking strong and looking very interesting on the side of EP this time.
Yeah, so looking like they're going much more team fight. Kassadin, of course, Kha'Zix, of course, can get in and out of fights very, very well. Will look to, I guess, start some brawls much earlier along. Isolated damage is so huge, especially if you go with the evolved Q. So look for him to start invading the jungle around level 6. But on the side of LGD, I just don't feel like they've been forced off enough picks to make them uncomfortable. And seeing how they did win last game, I don't know if there is enough surprises that EP can throw at them early on to rattle them off how they are going to play this mid and late game.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the super late game is looking ridiculous for LGD. Kassadin, Aurelia, and Caitlyn, of course, all just fantastic in that late game. Caitlyn, so incredibly safe, has that 90 caliber net to self-peel as well. And Kassadin and Aurelia, I mean, we've spoken to no end about these two champions as late game carries, and Kassadin may have copped a little bit of a hit. We've seen him rise to popularity in that top lane. Haven't seen his mid-game prowess just recently, but that Null Sphere is going to be good at stopping a lot of the harassment coming through from LeBlanc, and we'll just see whether he can really capitalize on that one as this game unfolds.
Yeah, definitely. I think, however, what Energy Pacemaker has done is they've put themselves in a position where their top laner has a very strong champion. Nah being in, Amazing J's hands will just mean that if anyone can get a team fight started and hit the go button, it's him, and Nah just does so much work.
Yeah, not to mention On the Hunt now being available for Energy Pacemaker as well, so they can try and get that Gnar sped up and into the right positions to really make that game-breaking or game-winning ultimate happen exactly the way they want it as well. And LGD looking for a little bit of a cheesy 5-man here as Kane, is just going to ward. Was waiting in that brush for a second, though, and man, that was close.
Yeah, TBQ putting down a ward as well. That was a trinket ward, just making sure that they have some early vision. Captain 57 getting a nice deep ward in.
And they knew that they were allowed to do that because they were, of course, spotted as a 5-man unit in that bottom side of the map, sort of giving up a lot of this deep vision. You can see that Amazing J also in the red buff jungle side of LGD and getting his ward down in the top.
Yeah, so it looks like once again, even after the funny business, no, actually a lane swap coming through as well. So looking to put Aurelia in 1v2 and get away from that long-range damage that can come out of Caitlyn early.
Yeah, very interesting. It's actually Flame heading back to base as well, but heading back to that top lane. I thought that they might have been able to spot this one out, but no, it's lane swap is going to go through, but Flame on this Aurelia, I mean, Aurelia known for being quite decent in a 1v2 situation.
Yeah, probably not as good as Gnar, though. Gnar has a transform, extremely tanky, able to pick up a lot of early health for himself as well, has a much cleaner 1v2 field path, and does a lot more without items, of course. That ultimate is going to work no matter what. As we see Captain 57 picking up his red buff first, so electing with a main buff start as opposed to a smaller buff.
And do you find it interesting that Amazing J as well opted not to give Captain 57 the experience, not to take the experience from that red buff as well as they're double jungling him?
No, you have to give first camp full experience every single time you double jungle, and then you share from then on. So it just is a different way that you, I guess, so yeah, as I said, first full buff experience, make sure your jungler gets level 2, and then from there you can share.
Okay, so sort of a bit standard. I didn't personally know, but I'm excited to understand now. Thank you very much for the Jake Spawn Tiberi lesson in the double jungling situation. But do you think that Acorn is going to want to go into that one, or is he going to be happy to sit in this lane now and try and soak as much experience as he can?
Yeah, so he will definitely try and get around for the first clear, then probably TP back. It looks like the freeze has been put through, so they are sending PYL into the top lane to help out Flame, make sure he's able to CS under turret and doesn't get poked out too much. So Imp just going to be CSing at the last second possible, although now slowly his lane is pushing.
Yeah, so unable to quite get the freeze that he wanted to there. Flame Blade Surging, going to cop a boomerang though for that one. Not going to take too much damage in this early stage though.
And it looks like Braum rotating around the map looking for an early gank. Won't be able to find much unfortunately because of how far Lou is pushing in way less at this point in the game.
Ooh, the Null Sphere going to come through onto Luo, so Wayless trying to do what he can in order to pressure out this one. Both of them opting to go for that Flask start, just to have as much sustain in these lanes as they can. And at the moment, Wayless actually doing really well on this farm at this stage.
Yeah, it looks completely fine. Able to last hit, of course, with that W gives him increased attack.
Oh, such perfect teleport timing from Amazing J as well, coming in just as that cannon creep was about to die, and can soak up this whole wave.
Gets a little bit trolled CSing by that swap from the turret. Can't actually get enough AD down to be able to one-shot the caster creep, so that could potentially be a lot of CS that goes to waste, as we have a 3-man gang squad coming into the top lane.
Oh, Flame waiting out that spell shield as well beautifully. PYL's here as well. He's going to have that play available. Kane gets played back. The exhaust was there for the slow, and that was just... Oh, that's Death Sentence as well onto Captain 57. Not quite going to have the play available in time, but TBQ is just going to be leaping all over this guy. Flash over the wall there as well, followed by another flash. 3 flashes! The play is there as well. Braum, Shu is just... He's not going anywhere. PYL's going to pick up that well-deserved kill from that beautiful passage of play.
Yeah, and still pinging on Captain 57. They were thinking about going even deeper there. That is a nightmare for EP. We spoke about how they needed to get off to the fast start. They needed to be the one that pushed the tempo. The lane swap did not work whatsoever, and now they're 2 kills down and 1,000 gold at only 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and look at Wayless as well. Happy to push up as far as he wants in this middle lane at the same time. Amazing J about to transform. We'll see whether he goes at all aggressive onto Imp, who can just net away. He's going to land a Piltover onto him as well as he's about to transform. Just going to use that opportunity to ward out a little bit.
Yeah, and 1v1, now Flame will be completely fine again.
Man.
Wayless is playing this so well.
Just perfectly. He's going to be going low on that mana just a little bit, but you can see 40 CS to 31 in a Kassadin pre-6 lane, which I just think is ridiculous.
Yeah, and just able to use that Q to harass in the mid lane. There's very mixed opinions on how well Kassadin does in this lane. I hear a lot, especially from the Oceanic guys, that they think Kassadin outright wins a lot of the match up against LeBlanc. I still think it is a hard matchup, level 1 to 5. I think LeBlanc can get some work done, especially through weaving auto attacks. However, we do have a gank coming in on Wayless.
Yeah, Captain's going to get leapt on here as well, but they're not going to want to commit to this one too much because TBQ has been spotted coming in from the side. He's just going to just do a bit of a round trip and then head back towards possibly this pink ward that may get spotted out.
Yeah, and once again, Wayless playing this matchup so calmly, not burning any summoner spells to get out of that. TBQ has been a little bit caught out. They're trying to protect that pink ward, of course, because when you put them down that early, it is a big investment. Yeah,
and Shu's sort of free to leave that top lane as well in a 1v1 situation. Flame not quite able to do too much to Kane in this top side.
Yeah, and it looks like Flame is CSing quite fine underneath this turret. It is taking a lot of damage as opposed to the bottom turret that has been frozen to try and deny as much CS as possible from Amazing J.
Boomerang going to land twice there as well. Winter's Bite going to come down to the Flame, so he's in danger of potential stun, but he's under that turret and he's going to be relatively safe. 28 apiece as far as our top laners are concerned in opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, and using his health as a resource there to pick up more gold because he does have that flask and some HP potion and doesn't think that he is in dive territory quite yet. Does, of course, have that teleport to be able to pick up one team fight and really run away with it.
Yeah, as we do finally get back into this game, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. Amazing J's going to clear out this wave with his boomerang. Of course, multiple boomerangs coming out of Energy Pacemaker this game. And Imp just going to be clearing up this turret. And this is exactly where a Caitlyn loves to be. You want to be in a position to shoot turrets.
Yeah, you want to push as fast as possible, and you want to use that Caitlyn range that is just innate in her kit to be able to take the bottom turret as fast as possible and then move around.
Oh, Captain 57's been caught out in the meantime. It's going to go so low. PYL's going to pick up that kill with an auto attack, and Luo just going to get exhausted out of the way here as well. Amazing J flashing over here as well. There's the wallop. PYL takes so much damage. Amazing J picks up the kill, but he might pay for this one. Wayless has come in. And it's actually going to be TBQ that picks up that, and they're going to be able to steal away this red buff.
Yeah, so good response from EP to be able to trade 1-for-1 at the start, but in the end, just able to get another kill.
After Captain 57, this is of course early in this game, only about 8 minutes in, so Captain 57 had in fact respawned yet again after falling down.
Yeah, as we see, a little bit of a push coming in on the top lane. Kane and Ju up there going to be able to do some work, take that one down, so they will trade objectives. However, they are on the wrong side of the map, so need to rotate through very quickly. Flames come back to the top lane. It is only 8 minutes in, so Dragon is very, very tanky at this part of the game.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, Flame able to walk his way down there if they do see what's going on. Of course, no teams having any vision on that Dragon.
Yeah, definitely not. And it looks like people will be recalling back to base.
Yeah, thankfully, bit of a pause situation is going to come in yet again as we are just struggling to get a few of these packets from China. Of course, China, fair distance away, so it's hard to send information over this way as effectively as we otherwise like. We're just going to pause it up just for one moment, and then we'll be back in. It should be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
As we were mentioning, the Dragon going to be the next focus most likely, and I think that Energy Pacemaker are going to be the ones that really want to make a move there, even though they may have just lost that skirmish.
Yeah, I think that last skirmish shows everything you need to know about this series so far. Looked like they were getting invaded. They were trying to turn it around. Good coordination to get Gnar into the jungle, and then all of a sudden, teleport comes through, another member comes through, and Wayless able to impact it more, and PYL saved TBQ there on Rengar with a lantern out of a chain. He's just playing this map so well. And when that happens, it's just, as I said, when you get in a skirmish that you should win and you can't win it, it just becomes demoralizing. Yeah,
it's a little bit horrible. And PYL is just playing on point right now as well. He's just looking fantastic on this Thresh and on the Nami, of course, beforehand. And using that auto attack in order to pick up the kill, I think it was well-deserved. You don't generally want to get kills on your support, but I think that when you're playing that well, I think you can grab one.
Yeah, exactly right. And when it comes to the point where it didn't really matter. So he just got in there, picked up the kill. So bloodthirsty support coming through for PYL. But yeah, he's definitely been on point, playing extremely well for his team.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. And there's not much more to say about PYL. I think we've definitely harped on about that guy enough. Captain 57 coming out of this jungle, this Kha'Zix did fall down, and we'll see whether this is actually going to affect the rest of his play. I mean, Kha'Zix can bounce back relatively effectively, but I'm not sure whether he's going to. But we are going to find out as we do get back into this matchup yet again. Imp has rotated around to a mid lane because he's discovered that there's another tower that he can shoot with his gun.
Yeah, and this is the best way to use Caitlyn. Grab an early objective in the bottom lane. Imp is CSing extremely well at this point in the game. Has 104 CS already. Next highest on the map is 90 of Wayless. No one in the other team within 20 of him already. So yeah, Imp will be looking to just pressure objectives with Caitlyn during this mid-game trough. If you move people around the map enough and just take down creeps and turrets at the same time, you kind of can, I guess, mitigate a lot of the weakness that we did talk about that comes out of Caitlyn at that point.
Yeah, and just methodically clearing these waves as well. It's so easy to get into a rhythm with Caitlyn, and look, just not really frightened about either of these members. Knows that there's the Lantern and the Death Sentence so close there.
Yeah, well, he's not frightened because that's a level 5 and a level 6 versus a level 8. Imp has picked up solo experience this whole game. 2 levels up is equal with Flame, as well as... Actually, they've juggled experience extremely well to the point where PYL is level 5, but everyone else of the carries is up around that level 8, level 9 mark.
And once Caitlyn does get level 9 as well, I mean, getting Pilt over Peacemaker to the 5 rank mark just means that you can do so much extra damage with that ability and clear out these waves really, really effectively. So as an AD carry, generally you're looking for these item power spikes, but Caitlyn does have a slightly less important but still relevant level power spike as well.
Yeah, definitely, especially in regards to clearing out minions. So able to do that with ease at the moment. Looks like Roller will be the build that Wayless has elected into. He's picked that one up, so that started stacking. 12-minute Roller is fantastic timing.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Trinity Force nearly is finished up by Flame as well.
Oh, that's exactly what you mentioned before as well. I mean, you're going to have that Ace in the Hole come through and Wayless able just to offer that little bit of extra damage. And now, I mean, Luo has to think twice before staying near this mid lane turret.
Yeah, and it looks like TBQ wants to start up the Dragon at the same time. They've realized they've chunked out LeBlanc, so try and grab 2 objectives at once. They've got the mid lane turret. Dragon down to 2,000 health, so they'll be able to pick that one up as well. And as I said, as soon as you pick up that BF sword, you just ult LeBlanc.
Yep. That's exactly what they did, and they picked themselves up a free Dragon. Look at the vision around this river as well. There's 3 pink wards surrounding that Dragon Pit. Oh, actually, there's 4 pink wards surrounding that Dragon Pit. So I think I know where they want to get their pressure. And you can see they definitely paid off with that free Dragon as well. Nothing Energy Pacemaker could do. And now that they're dropping these turrets, now that Imp does have these extra couple of AD items, just means that it's a matter of time before they just keep transferring this pressure, and we'll just see whether Energy Pacemaker can make a move that can get them out of this bind.
Yeah, and this is the perfect situation because they've taken mid lane turret, and now they'll just be able to focus as much attention they want top lane because they killed the Dragon at the same time. So able to make sure that they're going to be putting pressure in the right places, as we have Wayless just backing away a little bit, doesn't want to fight the 1v1 as of yet, sees Kha'Zix on his mini-map, I believe.
Although he does have a level advantage there a little bit, but not going overly aggressive. Intelligent move with the Kha'Zix just waiting in the wings. Ooh, nice use of that Force Pulse. Looked like Luo was actually out of the way of that one, but not going to be the case. And Wayless able to play very far up here as well. He's so ballsy on this Cassidy, as he does get chained here just a little bit. He's going to Rift Walk aggressively. Captain 57 is going to come in, and look at the Lantern from PYL at a fantastic time. It's going to be Captain 57 though, managing to get the flash into the queue to secure that kill. And Wayless just going a little bit overly aggressive. Thrill of the Hunt's going to be popped here, and Zhu almost managing to get that one through. Oh, the chain landing as well. TBQ forced to use that flash to get out of there. PYL does land the Death Sentence. There's the play coming in, and that's actually going to secure the kill onto Luo. The Lantern is going to be able to get Imp in range for Captain 57. That's a horrible feeling when you are just going to get sniped so easily by a Caitlyn. Oh, actually, that's going to be the stand behind me, getting Shu out of trouble. An amazing Jace found his way. There's the Nah. Not quite managing to get the stun onto Imp, who's found his way over to the other side. Flame now in a lot of trouble. There's the boomerang for the final kill. I thought Flame for a second there was going to get out, but not quite able to as Amazing J tries to get onto the low members of LGD, but that was such an extended fight.
Yeah, 3 for 2 in the end. Wayless went a little bit too deep to start that one off. Generally not a great idea to rift walk into someone if they're about to CC you. However, in the end, it looks like nothing else will happen after that, so it's just a lost team fight by a tiny margin, and you can see how high impact Nair is.
Yeah,
Behind on
just
items,
ridiculous.
30 CS down, and still able to come in with that huge ultimate and make sure that his team came out ahead. They need a couple more of those for them to really get back in this game, because there still is a 3,000 gold deficit, but EP showing that they're still able to, I guess, go toe-to-toe for now.
Yeah, I think it's a lot due to the agricultural prowess of the farming abilities of LGD. That's just ridiculous, their ability to stay ahead in the CS.
Yeah, but in saying that, Kane has caught up now, and he's picked himself up 2 kills as well, so only the Berserker's Greaves behind, as well as the Brawler's Gloves, so
Yeah.
he's started to get going on this Sivir, and we've seen how important Sivir's ultimate is to a team as well, and she's going to start pumping out some nice damage.
Yeah, certainly is. Extra Doran's Blade there as well, so going to have a little bit more health and more lifesteal if they do fight with these current item setups. So not going too badly for Kane as well. Let's going to clear out this pink ward here. It was put down in the previous engagement. Might actually pick up another one for his trouble as well. So doing some work clearing out the vision.
So that thrower's been stacking up for about 4 minutes now, guys. So just over halfway.
Just over halfway. Hasn't actually been and bought anything since then. Actually didn't buy anything when he went back. Probably looking for that needlessly large rod when he can get it. You can see backing now. May decide, actually no, he's going to cancel his recall. So just doesn't really want items. Really want them instead.
Pick himself up a Scuttle Crab.
Oh yeah, Scott. That's the main objective
The
on this
most
map.
prized possession on the Rift, as we have,
Oh, yeah.
once again, Imp just pushing in repetitively into this mid lane. 171 CS now, so he's on 10 CS per minute. Looking for him to rotate into the top wave. I think that it is important for them to continue these objectives rolling, keep the gold ticking over and building up leads. As we said, they do probably have the only champion on the map in Caitlyn that has a very big power dip in this game. So now the Trinity Force is being picked up by Flame.
Another fantastic use of that lantern. And Imp and PYL are on sort of the same wavelength when it comes to using that skill as well. Always able to pick that one up as soon as it comes out.
Evolve about to come through, so nice siege coming in here from EP. Able to pick up the mid
Hit
turret.
that house.
That was really well played by Amazing Jake, just to walk up with his, I guess, Evolve coming through from that passive, able to zone them off. And you talked about that lantern from PYL. That was in a position that Imp probably had no choice but to click it. It was dead underneath his feet to get him out of that way.
PYL actually just being so good, he can predict where Imp is clicking at the moment that he throws it out. I think that might be a little bit of an overstatement of his skill, but to be perfectly honest, I mean, it's been pretty impressive.
TBQ up here for a gank. He is on a ward, but that's every member out of LGD.
Yeah, everyone coming around, going to get flayed by it. There's the box there as well as Imp. Over the wall, just presses R, and it's going to secure that kill as they manage to translate it into an objective at the same time. And you have to think that Amazing J probably knew that that was the next place that they wanted to be.
Yeah, and this is just such methodical play out of LGD. They're just rotating through the jungle now, taking
How did
away
Flame
any
click that ward instead of the Gromp? Man, that's tough. I would have clicked the Gromp. Fat-fingered that one, most definitely.
I like the fact that that is your biggest surprise out of this game. How did he click the ward instead of the Gromp? Not how does he have 140 CS in a lane swap. How did he get the ward?
Look, it was honestly impressive, okay? Aren't I allowed to be impressed?
As we see the second dragon started up, this is probably EP's biggest chance to go in right now. Nah is on his way, so they won't be able to do it. And wow, the second dragon just bleeding objective now.
Just the tip of the boomerang, going to catch Imp there a little bit for a third of his health. But nothing going to happen. There's going to be another free dragon over to LGD. And
they're playing this map so methodically.
Yeah.
It is like a surgeon just taking someone apart. They're able to just get, they know exactly where they're stronger, they know where they want to be, what objective they have next, and they're just completely textbook pulling EP apart in this game.
Yeah, they really are. It's a bit like Operation here, and they haven't hit the walls once on this map. Is that what you were going for?
I'm not touching that
let me paint the picture for you guys. That was a definite facepalm from Jake Spawn Tiberi just there. on the caster desk. Kane, without very much mana,
Just
gonna
looking to
try and
push
clear
out
out
the
his
way.
mana this
Get
way.
a little bit more CS. Probably going to go back and pick himself up some boots too. As Shu has been spotted in that bottom lane. Wayless just going to make his exit out of the jungle. Playing pretty passive still. 0, 1, and 2. Not going as aggressive as I thought he would be on Cassidy.
Yeah, it does almost hit his Rod of Ages power spike as PYL throws Impa Lantern into just getting another potential catch onto Amazing J here.
Ooh, Amazing J thinks they've pulled out of this one and is walked back up to the creep wave. 2 people are still behind him, so they can go whenever they want on this one. Maybe deciding to go in on the mid laner instead.
And look at how deep the vision is here as well. TBQ just taking a bit of a chain to the head after that Sigil of Malice.
And the blue buff has spawned, so look for a little bit of a skirmish away from this one. Don't think they would give it up completely, but it looks like they have them. EP are just have absolutely no interest in going anywhere near any member of LGD.
Yeah, Flame actually going to take that blue buff as well, so he's going to Blade Surge with impunity at this stage. Unable to get the reset of that last creep. That was so close.
Yeah, that's
Must be frustrating.
muscle memory for Aurelia players, because generally when you have your Trinity Force, your W active, you can one-shot creeps with 1 point in your queue. That no longer works. I think they survive with something like 3 HP, so you do have to put an extra point in there if you do want to do that.
A little bit unfortunate, but not going to be game-breaking for Flame, as Wayless just going to shove out this bottom wave and look at the vision that's on this top side of the map. It's like LGD just say, Flame here, we're just going to provide you with all the safety you want, and you're just going to have all the control you need in that top side.
They've completely strangled EP out of this game. EP, once again, just feels like they have no decisions they can make unless they go for a massive team fight and get the perfect Gnar. I don't think they see any way that they can turn this one around at this point once again until it gets to about 40 minutes.
Yeah, and as you were mentioning before, I mean, Imp CS is ridiculous. We also have... Oh, look at that dodge from PYL, making sure that he keeps the movement speed from his Boots of Mobility and finally flashes out of the way of the Winter's Bite.
Yeah, so that was a Silver ultimate use, just trying to get a pick on PYL, able to get away from there. Now rotating into the bottom lane. That's a big CS wave already started up, so Imp will be able to walk into that lane and pick up a turret for himself, you would assume, pretty easily.
Yep, and you can see generally when you've got a 80 carry freely wandering through the enemy jungle at 22 minutes in the game, generally things aren't going so well, and look at him, just loves hitting those turrets.
Yeah, and just playing this game so textbook, able to chunk a turret out from half just by good map movement and vision control, as you said, in that bottom side of the jungle. Once again,
Unbreakable being used. That's what this Braum is definitely good for, is stopping that damage. Imp actually going to take a little bit from some harassment from Kane, but Kane also getting chunked out. Another Lantern is going to be thrown just to keep this team together. LGD, they do have Flame coming in from the side, just going to clear out a pink ward here as well, and they're making sure that they have so much vision control.
So LGD right now trying to bait EP into the same mistake they made last game, and that's looking for picks on the Aurelia as they go in.
Yeah, actually it's going to be Shu getting caught up a little bit. Flame going to take the Lantern here. Wayless, of course, having a lot of abilities to move out. Amazing J getting caught up by the empowered bowler here as well. And again, Amazing J's chunked out. This is going to be the fight definitely going in favor of LGD so far. Oh my gosh, that Static Shift crit onto Captain 57 took off half his health in one auto attack.
Yeah, although TBQ did go low. Nicely played on Rengar there, making sure that he was in and out of the brushes. Got two empowered bowlers out.
Yeah, within the space of a very short amount of time. Well utilized.
Looks like they will just be waiting for this dragon, however. They don't want to force anything within the minute, just because if it does go wrong, they will give up the first dragon. And the first dragon, the other dragons are important, do not get me wrong. But at this point in the game, if you have 0 dragons and you get 1, you feel like you have got a bigger power spike than you actually deserve. If they're 5,000 gold behind and a dragon behind, and just for a little bit of context, at this point in the game, that dragon stat should be worth about 3,500, 4,000 gold.
Yeah, because of the fact that it's multiplicative.
Yeah.
Of course. So that power spike is definitely something that Energy Pacemaker want to look for, and LGD really want to deny. So it almost means that it is still just as important for both teams as far as denial and, of course, acquisition.
Yeah, so look for LGD to once again try and wow as Imp is just going
Oh,
ham.
and he manages to pick up the red buff
And
there
they
as well.
backed away 3 versus 1 from the AD carry. That's how much vision control they have over the bottom side of the jungle. And that is how confident Imp is in his play.
Yep, 7 seconds now until the third dragon just gets handed on a silver platter to LGD. As TBQ just takes a fun lantern ride because he can. It's a bit cute.
So this will be the third dragon of the game coming up, and that will be taken, once again, absolutely no contest. And EP have kind of just let this game slip now. 25 minutes in, that's a 5,000 gold advantage. I don't think they can do anything at this point in the game.
I don't think they are doing anything. I think that's the main point here, is that they're not really trying to get themselves back in, as we do have a little bit of a gank rush being set up here. PYL is going to give that one up.
Yeah, and the
TBQ's actually going to thrill the hunt up here, but they are underneath the turret. Nice stand behind me into that Unbreakable. As Captain 57's being aggressed on here, half his health goes immediately. Flame waiting in the wings and way less over the other side as well. They want to make a catch. Flame coming through.
They're just trying to pressure this turret and get the rest of the health down and then be able to go in for a team fight. So they've forced them off now. Wow, good.
Glacial Fissure onto Flame. He's just going to flash over that wall. And there's a rip walk from Wayless as well. There's the bounce coming in. Amazing J trying to get the work to come through at box place amazingly for the potential disengage if they want to. But look at the members of EP just getting evaporated. So many low health bars on both members. Amazing J Imp, though, out the back, able to just get these auto attacks down. And that's... Oh, brilliantly used. The Zhonya's Hourglass. Luo was almost certainly dead at that stage, and Imp is just too far ahead at this moment in the game. He's skipped the power trough, and he's just got so much damage.
Yeah, Amazing J got such a good Nara in that team fight, and they still lost. Imp completely unmolested in the backline, just able to get out as much damage as he wants. That was once again a great team fight out of EP.
Yeah, it was so close.
They very, very decisively moved out onto 2 people that were trying to flank. They got a couple of ultimates and a flash at the very start, but in the end, it just went horribly wrong because of how fed this Caitlyn is.
Yeah, and she had the right idea, getting that Glacial Fissure down onto the members that were sort of straggling in the back and utilizing their man advantage in that situation, but the mobility available from Wayless and the flash use from Flame just got them out of that situation and into one that they wanted. And then the Gnar came through. It was great, but it didn't get Imp, and he was just getting so much damage across the team.
Yeah, and Imp now pick up a Last Whisper and another Zeal for himself.
Whoa.
So not even going for any...
Oh, nice sidestep out of the way, but the definitely going to be enough just using that play. That is going to be the answered kill then as well, as Captain 57 is going to use that ultimate and the flash in order to get him over that wall. Imp's going to chase afterwards as well.
That could be the first Baron of the game. Looked like they will move into it. Imp does so much damage at this point. And wow, LGD are just absolutely putting on a clinic against EP.
Yeah, it certainly is. Just ridiculous. And that is going to be the surrender vote, I believe. Potentially. No. It's just a pause coming through. Sorry, we had a bit more of that packet loss, and I'd understand. If I was in EP's position, I would be feeling so demoralized.
Yeah, and it's they haven't tried anything different. When the game continually spirals out of control and you've just lost the game in that fashion, they've once again just slowly let the game fall out. It was a good, solid team fight. I actually liked the decision to just collapse on the flank and try and make something happen. It's just a little bit too late. You feel that if it had happened 5-10 minutes earlier, they would have been in a better position to try and get something more positive out of the team fight.
Yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate that they sort of like held their finger off the trigger there a little bit.
Yeah, but I think you have to give I think that is the way they're being forced to play. No one decides to play a League of Legends game passively and slowly lose a map. It's just professional players do not do that. So LGD are just absolutely controlling how they make their opponent move around the map and just funneling them into bad choices. And EP don't want to make a bad choice because they don't want to lose the game, but they're just being slowly strangled out of it.
Yeah, and LGD sort of giving them no other options based on how safely and, as you mentioned, methodically they're playing this one out. And it's almost horrible to watch sort of the pieces all fall together in this so beautifully orchestrated fashion that LGD are presenting to us.
Yeah.
And there's sort of no other way that it could have unfolded.
And you saw as soon as they picked their team comp what they were going for. Get Cassidy inside lane farms, rotate Caitlyn around the map to take objectives. They've just every single time completely textbook done it.
Yeah, as we do jump back into this game, this looks to be a ridiculous team fight already unfolding. Amazing Jay's going to get taken down. That's actually going to be 2 kills already coming through on the side of Imp, and he's just auto-attacking his way through. That may have been actually a triple kill coming through, as Imp is just going to clean up this base. He's just got so much damage.
Yeah, this will probably be the game with the Dragon, the Baron buff minions coming in. They'll be able to pick up the 2 turrets. Going a little bit deep for a couple more kills before they finish it off, but Imp's just going to be able to take those structures out.
Yes, and it's going to land on a Kane here as well, just for funsies, as we have Imp sort of ignoring the champions and wanting to hit these turrets, as Shu actually gets stunned up on his fountain as well. And
that's the unofficial Penta, I believe, there for Imp. 10, 0, and 5, absolutely cleaning house.
Yeah, 10, 0, and 5 on a Caitlyn as well, skipping that power drop because he had so much extra money and those levels doing so much work. And as you mentioned, that was definitely a clinic coming through from LGD.
Yeah, and I'm very, very excited to watch this bottom lane of Imp and PYL play even more. They are looking to be one of the best, if not the best, bottom lanes probably in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
They're all class, those two.
Yeah, so far we've seen just so many impressive plays coming out of mostly PYL, but Imp's consistency and ability just to win. It doesn't matter whether it's like in a skirmish or whatever. His ability to consistently win in that bottom lane is just ridiculous. And that last game was almost horrible to watch just because of how methodically he just went around and killed people and took objectives, and those structures didn't stand for very long. It was just Imp shooting anything that he could as quickly as he could.
Yeah, and the evolution of Flame continues, so we said that he's very, very good split pusher, very, very good on these majors, likes to carry his team, but played Aurelia, played it very, very well, handled the lane swap pretty much perfectly. Once again, was about 50 CS up on Amazing J. So both top laners coming up with pretty good showings in the first couple of games for LGD. They've got a big decision to make. Yeah,
both Acorn and Flame looking really, really strong. And you can imagine the focus of both games did vary just a little bit, and Acorn had probably the more flashy plays, but Flame being put through the 2v1 test is something that's very difficult for a lot of top laners to deal with, not getting this farm, and doing that to Flame as well, who wants to carry his team. He definitely couldn't do it because he was getting stifled out, but he handled it, as you mentioned, so beautifully.
Yeah, so he handled it well. You definitely saw what the strong points for EP are in that game. Energy Pacemaker, definitely relying on Amazing J. He had some fantastic teleports, was able to pick up first blood in the first game.
Yep.
Their jungler as well, Captain 57, didn't have as strong as showing as I was expecting. However, still, they got the first 2 dragons in the first game. That second game was a complete whitewash. LGD just strangled them out of the game. I don't think that EP or any other team, unless they were very, very world-class, would deal with that situation any differently.
Yep.
So look for these guys to, I guess, take what they've learnt today and try and apply it in the games.
Yeah, and we'll see whether they are going to be able to. Of course, LGD are going to be a team to watch. But we do have coming